Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Falls Township Zoning Hearing Board, April 12th, 2022. Please stand to salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, I don't see the boardroom.
Got it now, Bill?
I got it now. Okay.
Okay. Again, welcome everyone. A little introduction. We have via Zoom, we have Bill Kiernan, we have Lainey Strelick, myself, Al Brooks, and we have Keith Billenmeyer, our solicitor. We have Diane Beret from the township, Matt Takita, and our court reporter, Karen Wright Browndorf. We have a couple of things we have to address. We have a 3-member panel tonight. Anybody like to continue till next month, they have the right to do that. But that's where we're at right now. We have a 3-member panel. First line of business is a extension. We have a letter from Chris Balis, 1464 Revere Road, requesting an extension for a zoning variance decision that we made on 7/10/2007. He would like to get an extension for 1 more year till July 20th due to some sewage problems on his property, a sewage line problem. Do I have a motion for the continuance?
I'll make motion.
Have a second? Second. Okay, motion passed. That'll be extended for 1 more year. Next thing we have is a letter from Michael McGinnis. Asking for continuance. This letter is for Jason and Nancy Lawson. His clients they're going to revise the plans and resubmit the plan with additional request relief. Therefore, we'd like to request a continuance of the zoning hearing board meeting till next month, which would be May 10th, 2022. Do I have a motion?
Before a motion's made, Mr. McGinnis, since he's here, I didn't ask for this in the letter. Could you just place on the record that you would grant the zoning hearing board any extension to hear this matter within the time periods?
Yes, please accept, and we can follow this up in writing, but this is a representation that we're waiving the time requirements such as they may exist for the MPC through the meeting next May.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. And do we have a motion?
I make a motion to extend this until next month.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion is passed, and there'll be an extension till next month. All right, petition number 1, we have Christopher Petrillo, 18 Evergreen Lane, requesting dimensional variance to allow a driveway to encroach in the side yard setback. Is Chris in? Please step up, Chris. We'll have you first sworn in.
Yes, ma'am. Christopher Petrillo.
And before we start, do you have some things you want to mark?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, if we can mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal as ZHB 1, along with the accompanying statement from Mr. Christopher Petrillo. 2 will be a permit denial letter from Falls Township dated March 7th to the applicant. 3 is an impervious calculation sheet. 4 are site plans, plot plans for this property. 5 will be 4 pages containing 4 color photographs, one of which shows that the property was posted as required. 6 is a notification to the petitioner, or to the applicant, I should say, and also to the neighbors advising them of tonight's meeting. 7 is proof of publication in the Bucks County Courier Times, showing this matter was published March 29th, and then again April 5th, 2022. That is all the board exhibits, Mr. Chairman. I'm satisfied the appropriate notice has been satisfied. This matter can proceed.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Chris, what do you got?
So my property, right now we have, it's within the standard, the basic zoning allotment. And what I'm trying to do is extend it over the 2 foot on the property line.
Okay.
To the property line. Reason being, my neighbor Jason Dean, who's also here, he's trying to do the same thing. We're gonna combine the split and have a flat driveway. This way, come wintertime, we can park our vehicles there, not intrude into the walkways, etc. Also, I have 3 vehicles, trying to be able to park all my vehicles off the street, being that it's a tight road, and there's often close calls. A lot of close calls, with people hitting the vehicles and taking mirrors off and whatnot.
Yes, I understand.
With the calculations done, it is still within the limits of impervious ground. I'm actually way under, leaving me at 26, where my allotted is 29, almost 3,000.
Okay. Board comment? Lily? Anything?
No, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yes, I agree. Bill?
I have none.
Anything, anybody here in the public? Any public comment? None? Matt, anything in? Somebody like to make a motion?
No online public comment.
Oh, okay. Somebody like to make a motion?
I move that the application of Christopher Petrillo requested a dimensional variance from section 209-43(1)(c)(4) of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to allow a driveway to encroach into the side yard setback at the property located at 18 Evergreen Lane, Levittown, Pennsylvania, 19054, as depicted on the plans in accordance with the testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
We have a
I'll
second.
second. I'll second.
Okay. And pull the board? You got to pull the
Yes.
board. You have to pull the board.
Oh, I have to, oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Al,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
and I'm a yes.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
How do I go about getting the,
Should be in touch. Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Our next thing is petition number 3, JR 915 LLC, 905 Lincoln Highway, requesting a dimensional variance to permit additional parking. Section 209-23, attachment 6, table 4, to permit a maximum impervious surface ratio of 91%, where maximum of 70% is otherwise allowed. And section 209-23, H, parens 2, to permit parking 2.8 feet from the adjacent street where 30 foot is otherwise required. Can I have
Good
your
evening.
Good evening. Can I have your witnesses sworn in first? Whoever's going to speak.
Sure. I have Rick McLaughlin with me and Kristen Holmes, who I'm certainly willing to offer to provide testimony if the board desires at the end of the presentation.
Okay.
If I can go sworn in at the outset.
You both swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do. If you could just state.
Richard McLaughlin,
Can you spell your last name?
McLaughlin.
Kristen Holmes, KRISTINHOLMES.
Mr. Chairman, if we can mark some exhibits for this application.
Yes.
We'll mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal as ZHB1, along with the accompanying variance list and statement in support of the appeal. 2 will be a letter to Mr. McGinnis advising him of tonight's meeting. 3 will be 4 pages containing 4 colored photographs, one of which shows that the property was posted as required. 4 is a zoning plan submitted by the applicant. 5 is proof of publication in the Bucks County Courier Times showing that this matter was published March 29th, 2022, and then again, April 5th, 2022. That is all the board exhibits. Mr. McGinnis has handed me, if you don't have any pre-marked exhibits, I'll mark this as A1.
Very good, thank you.
The top sheet states certification of service. If I may have one moment to review. And Mr. McGinnis, the sample letter was sent to the property addresses listed on the last sheet. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I'm satisfied the appropriate notices have been satisfied, and this matter can proceed.
Thank you.
All right,
Mr. McGinnis, go ahead.
Thank you. Mike McGinnis from Begley Carlin here on behalf of the applicant. The applicant and landowner in this matter is JR 915 LLC, and as you saw, Rick McLaughlin is here tonight. This is the home of the Truck Smart in the township that I think the board is likely familiar with because Mr. McLaughlin has been in front of the board on a number of occasions in the last couple of years and has generously been granted relief on those occasions. The subject property is located at 905 Lincoln Highway. If you look at the site plan that Ms. Holmes provided, I think you can see on its face this is a very oddly configured property that my client owns. There's 3 different parcels here. We've only applied for 2 of the parcels because there's only improvements that are being intended on 2 of the parcels. But what we have depicted as labeled as Lot 2, I'm pointing out on the plan is here. And then Lot 1 is the portion closer to Business Route 1, which is here. And then the balance of the site, we're not requesting or intending any improvements. So as you indicated at the outset, there is no construction of any building structures that are anticipated with this application. We are only here seeking relief to add additional parking to the site. Truck Smart's been operating at this location for approximately 6 years. They have been very fortunate in that the business continues to grow. Sales are very strong, and that in tandem with the unfortunate fact that they are experiencing a lot of crime and theft regarding their vehicles for sale, with catalytic converter being stolen, I think approximately $40,000 just this year so far, has necessitated the instant relief that we're seeking tonight. So if you take a look at the site plan, what we're looking to do is basically, and maybe I can flip this over because there's an aerial which really shows you the site. We're looking to extend the macadam on, again, what I've labeled as Lot 1. This area is going to be enclosed for security reasons with lighting. And then this area on the site plan, what we have is Lot 2. We're seeking to pave and stripe, and it's going to be utilized for existing customer and employee parking. It's not anticipated that any vehicles for sale will be stored in this location. There is no modification on this plan to means of ingress egress, and as I stated, no building improvements anticipated. So that is a summary of why we're here and the bases for our relief, coupled with, again, the odd configuration of the multiple lots that my client operates. I would like to offer Mr. McLaughlin just to provide brief testimony, and then as I indicated at the beginning, I do have Ms. Holmes with me if the board has any technical questions regarding the design of the site.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Hi, how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
I just want to introduce, I have 2 sons that are involved in the business. This is my son, Chris. My son, Matthew, couldn't make it here tonight, but they're going to be the face of the company probably in the coming years. So we've been very blessed. Business is great. We keep expanding and growing, and we're just out of space. You know, the long and short of it, we do service for most of the major companies in the area. We have to enclose their trucks into some kind of a fenced-in area so they don't get vandalized. And we need to blacktop the area right now that some of it is grass because the trucks sink if they go in the grass. Right. So we're just seeking relief for that, and we're going to keep it nice like we always do. And we also want to put an American flag in on the corner with a light on it.
And then, Rick, as I indicated, this portion of the property is where the vehicles for sale are going to be maintained. That's the fenced-in area.
Yes.
And then this expansion, Lot 2, that macadam that's striped, is going to be for the customer and employee parking, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And this is where the lighting and the fencing is going to go?
Yes.
Right.
And we're going to put security cameras in that hopefully will identify any encroachment on the fenced-in area. When they're stealing our catalytic converters, we'll find out first. So that's the idea with that as well.
Okay, and this might be more proper for Ms. Holmes, but obviously with adding the additional impervious, I'd just like you to affirm for the record that obviously we will work with the township from a stormwater management standpoint to offset
Yes.
any additional runoff as a result of this project. Is that right?
Yeah, whatever needs to be done.
Okay, and the condition, as you stated, you know, pride yourself in keeping this property in good condition. That is not going to be altered in any way with this plan, correct?
No, it'll look very nice when we're done.
All right. I have nothing else for Mr. McLaughlin, and again, I do have Ms. Holmes here if you'd like me to offer testimony. Otherwise, I'd open it up for the board for comments and questions.
Okay, we'll open up for board comment. Laney, anything?
I see it every day I go to work and come home. It looks great, so
Thank you.
it's a very
Thank
nice
you.
property, so.
Phil?
The only concern I have is just the water runoff, but as you said that you will work with the township on water management before, it moves forward.
Yes.
That is correct.
That's the only question I have.
Okay, and Rick, question I have is, what fence do you have around there now? What kind of fence do you
It's
have?
a black cyclone fence.
Okay,
And we're
see
gonna
through.
continue the same exact fence. You can see through it. There's no barbed wire.
Okay, that's what I thought you had there. I have nothing, and is there anybody here for the public on this matter, and anybody online?
No one online.
Matt, anything, any correspondence on this? Nothing from the township. Okay, if we have nothing else, do I have can I ask for a motion?
I would make the motion, I just don't have them in front of me
Okay,
to make it legal. I'm sorry.
it's all right, well, Laney, do it.
I make a motion, I move to, that the application of JR 915 LLC requesting dimensional variance from section 209-23, attachment 6, table 4, and section 209-23.H2 of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to permit additional parking on the premises, to permit a maximum impervious surface ratio of 91%, where a maximum of 70% is otherwise allowed, and to permit parking 2.8 feet from the adjacent street where 30 feet is otherwise required at the property located at 905 Lincoln Highway, Morrisville, Pennsylvania, 19067, as depicted on the plans and in accordance with the testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, poll the board?
Al?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
I appreciate it. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Have a great night.
Karen, do we email you?
Okay, our next line of business is petition 4, auto lenders, liquidation center, 218 Lincoln Highway, Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania, zoned highway commercial, requesting a dimensional variance for the following sections: 209-45Q, parens 5A, to permit 3 wall signs where only 1 sign is permitted per tenant per street frontage; 209-45Q, parens 5B, to permit 1 wall sign to be 70 square feet where the maximum permitted area of wall sign is 32 square feet; and section 209-45Q, parens 10A, to permit 2 freestanding signs where only 1 freestanding sign is permitted per street frontage. Do we have auto lenders here via Zoom?
We do. Lou Colagreco, Counsel for Auto Lenders.
Okay,
And I have probably just one witness tonight, Terry Combs, who I hope you can see on the screen. Mike Wimmer, the owner of Auto Lenders, is also observing, and if need be, he can testify, but right now I'm not seeing the need for that, but he's available to answer questions if necessary. So we can start whenever the board is ready.
Yeah. First have Mr. Gomes.
can we have Mr. Combs sworn in? It's Terry
It's the
Combs.
one on the bottom.
Mhm.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Can we get the court reporter on the microphone, please?
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Could you please state your full name and spell it?
Yeah, it's Terrence Combs, Combs, with the engineering firm, the Pettit Group.
All right, Mr. Chairman, we'll mark some exhibits for this application.
Yep, good.
We'll mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal along with the accompanying hardship letter as ZHB 1.
Okay.
2 will be a letter from Falls Township dated March 29th to Mr. Colagreco, advising him of tonight's meeting. 3 will be 6 pages containing 6 colored photographs, one of which shows the property was posted as required. 4 will be 2 sets of signage plans submitted by the applicant. 5 will be proof of publication in the Bucks County Courier-Times, showing this matter was published March 29th, and then again April 5th, 2022. That is all the board exhibits. I've been previously provided, I assume by Mr. Calagreco, if that's accurate, pre-marked exhibits. One specifically is A3, titled Affidavit of Mailing Notice. And then I'm sorry, the A3 affidavit, where it states mailing notice, not only does that contain the affidavit, but it also contains the sample letter and also a list of property addresses. Mr. Calagreco, if I can ask you, sir, the list of addresses that at the very top of the document, it states owners abutting and directly across the street from parcel ID. There is a list of properties. It's a 2-page document. Can you advise whether or not the sample letter was sent to all those property addresses?
Yes, it has been.
Great. Mr. Chairman, I'm satisfied the appropriate notice has been satisfied. This matter can proceed.
Okay, thanks, Keith. Mr. Calgreco.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll try and be brief with this. We did pre-mark and pre-submit the exhibits we intend to use tonight, and I'll just run through a couple of them because they are administrative. Exhibit A1 is the enclosure letter and frankly the application that was submitted. Exhibit A2 is the zoning ordinance, which we incorporate by reference. Exhibit A3 is the mailing notice, which the solicitor already referred to. And Exhibit A4 is the deed, which evidences a title in the applicant to prove that he has standing to make this presentation here this evening. So I do want to also make a verbal amendment of the application. We're removing the need for 2 of the variances, which we thought we previously would need. We did meet with the township manager and went over the application after it was filed. And to cut to the chase, the original application sought relief for 3 wall signs where only 1 is permitted. We now seek relief for only 2 wall signs where 1 is permitted. So that variance got a little easier to lift. And we also no longer need the dimensional variance for one of the wall signs to be larger. And the reason for that is that that 1 wall sign has been reclassified by the township as a marquee sign. So we don't need any relief for that. So we're dropping 1 wall sign from the variance application, and we no longer seek to exceed the size of a permitted wall sign with our application. So essentially, we're only looking for 2 variances, and that's to permit 2 wall signs where 1 is permitted, and also to allow additional freestanding sign at the entrance of the development. With that, I'm going to go right to Terrence Combs. He's already been sworn. And Terry, you've already stated your name and address and your business for the record. Were you retained by the applicant MTW Realty LLC to prepare a signage plan and signage details for the proposed auto lenders at 218 Lincoln Highway?
Yes, we prepared the site plan and signage plan and assisted their sign contractor in preparing the details with the information required by the township.
All right, let's punch up Exhibit A5, which is the aerial rendering of the property. And once this exhibit comes up on the screen, can you orient the property and describe for the board what's presently situated on that property?
Yeah, the property is identified 218 Lincoln Highway. Basically is everything from Lincoln Highway back to the bottom of the image. 5.63 acres total. Majority of the property is either asphalt paving in the front portion or gravel parking surface behind the building, basically almost to the property line. So the predominance of the property is covered by asphalt building or gravel. The surrounding land uses are predominantly commercial, with the exception of the east and south property boundaries, which are bordered by residential. Everything up along Lincoln Highway adjacent to the property is commercial retail type uses. The Ace Motel is the property directly to the west, which would be to that image would be to the left of our site on the image.
And the board's probably familiar with this property as the former Burns Auto property. I think that's who occupied the property previously, correct?
That is correct.
And briefly, what is the proposal for the property, for the development proposal for the
The
property?
proposal is basically for it to be continue to be used for automobile sales. Auto lenders would use this as a retail facility. Display vehicles would be in the front portion where the paved parking is, and then the back areas similar to what Burns was doing. That would be their inventory lot in the back of the site.
Now, Auto Lenders isn't adding any new buildings to the property. They're simply, I shouldn't say simply because I know it's very costly and time expensive. They're essentially refurbishing, modernizing the existing structures on the property, correct?
That's correct. They're putting in a new facades on. Actually, they actually removed small portions of the existing structures to clean up the the building lines, and then they'll refinish the facades in accordance with their corporate image.
Okay, let's punch up Exhibit A7, which is the actual signage plan, and let's get into the signage relief that's being requested. Let's deal first with the freestanding signs. The ordinance permits 1, Auto Lenders is proposing 2, and if we could punch up that Exhibit A7, the signage plan, we can begin testifying from that. Good. This is the sign for which we're seeking relief?
Yeah, if I think the best image would be first the overall image of the building, the elevation view of the building. I think that was the first one in the signage package. If we can scroll to that. Yeah, right there. That shows the building renovations, what the final building facade would look like. And that depicts the facade signage, which you can see is very understated for the size of the building. There's a service area sign over the entrance to the service area. There's just a simple circular AL, which is the Auto Lenders logo at the center, and then the marquee sign is the Auto Lenders Arch sign, which is over the main entrance to the retail sales area.
Well,
so that's what the building will
Terry,
look like, and the signage.
Terry, we'll come back to that later. Right now, we just want to deal with the pylon sign out in front. So if we can go back to that exhibit, we'll come back to the wall signage in just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the pylon sign. This is the second sign that will be added to the site entrance, correct?
That is correct. That sign would be located at the eastern site entrance.
And if we can punch up Exhibit A8, I think we can graphically show exactly where the location of that sign would be.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay, that's the western entrance. So that's right. Okay, that's the eastern entrance there. Right. So the monument sign would be just above the entrance arrow. That's currently painted on the drive. So we're cutting out a portion of the pavement, probably pretty close to where that end parking space is. There'll be some landscaping around it, and then that monument sign would be located in that area, basically within that parking spot. It's 34.5 square feet in accordance with the methods that the township uses to measure sign area. So the ordinance permits for freestanding signs up to 50 square feet. We're below the area permitted by the ordinance. And if you can see the existing sign that's basically in the center of the property, that sign is about 180 square feet, it's 12 by 15. So on one side, that sign's 180 square feet. So with the second pylon sign that we're proposing at the western entrance, we're going to be, less than half of what is currently there now.
That's a good point. That big sign that's presently on the property that we see right now, that's coming down, correct?
That is coming down, if it's not already down.
And we're not asking for any relief as pertains to the size of the pylon sign. It's well within the square footage, and it's well below the ordinance height. I believe
Correct.
the height of the sign is approximately 18 feet, correct?
That is correct. The ordinance permits 20-foot sign height where both of the signs are 18 feet in height and below 40 square feet in area.
Okay, that's it for the pylon sign. Now let's go back to that exhibit that you were testifying from earlier, Exhibit A7, and we'll deal with the wall sign relief that we're requesting. As I said previously, the ordinance allows for one. We're asking for variance permission to put up 2 wall signs. And referring to exhibit, I guess we could put up exhibit A8, really, which is well, no, we actually did that one already. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and let's leave that on a second, because you can see there the existing service center signage that the previous service center signage that Burns had. Just for an idea of the scale, our service center sign just says service, and it's smaller than the service sign that they currently have. If you disregard the AAA sign and the word center, it's smaller than the letters are smaller than their service. So we're going to be less than half, much less than half of what's there now on that portion of the building.
And
Not to
again,
mention-
as with the pylon sign, you're not seeking any relief for the size of the sign, correct? It's just the
Absolutely
number
not.
of.
Yep. It's 20, as you can see from the exhibit, there's 23 square feet where the ordinance allows wall signs to be up to 32 square feet.
And in your opinion,
Existing-
what are the unique circumstances of the property which justify the need for variance relief?
Well, really, for even for the freestanding signs, I mean, there's the property has 300 feet of frontage, and it's on Lincoln Highway, obviously, which is a highly traveled and fairly high speed road. So the concern when you have entrances like this, where you're coming off the road into the parking area very quickly, is to identify your entrances in advance, so you don't have cars slowing down to decide where they're going in, slowing down to decide where they want to go in. The freestanding signs, I locate the entrances, give a visual cue for where you want to be slowing down, where you want to be entering. It creates a safer traffic condition on the road as well as in the site, so people have time to slow down before they enter the property. The service sign, because of the building is rather close to Lincoln Highway, so that drive that runs across the front of the building is a one-way drive. It's not wide enough for two-way traffic, so it's important to identify for the entering customer where the service area is, if they're coming for service. So the service sign sort of serves as a directional sign as well as a wall sign to identify from the road where you want to be driving into for if you're getting your car serviced as opposed to shopping, looking for a car. So it's all has to do with the safety on the Lincoln Highway itself, really, to avoid confusion and to promote free traffic flow.
And in your opinion, is there anything about this request for relief which would alter the character of the neighborhood?
No, as I said, the signage is going to be significantly less than what's there now. And from my observation of the other uses in the area, our signage is probably less, in scale, smaller in scale than many of the other uses around here. So I think it's appropriate and in keeping with surrounding land uses.
Thank you. I have no further testimony to offer the board. And as I said previously, if the board has questions of Mike Wimmer, the owner of Auto Lenders, he's on the call as well, and he can be sworn to testify.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any board comment? Lenny?
Not at this time.
Bill?
I have not.
The only question I have is this sign. The Auto Lenders, the 62-inch wide sign. Where is that one going? Where exactly are you putting that one? I missed exactly where you put
That's the sign that's going by the eastern entrance, which is the image
Where's that?
right by the
that-
service area. That's the entrance to the service.
Going in? Is
Yeah.
there an exit
Correct.
right there?
It'll be to the right of the entry drive.
We just gotta make sure that's not no sight triangle and blocking any view of traffic coming. That's the only
Now,
question I have.
the right of way is basically close to where the bumper stops are there. That's the right of way of the road. We're, in accordance with the ordinance, we're 5 feet behind what would be the right of way or the property line. So we're significantly behind the edge of the carway. So
Okay.
we won't be, it won't be obstructing any required site distances.
Okay, thank you. Anybody in the public for this petition, and is anybody in here via Zoom?
No one on Zoom.
Matt, anything correspondence?
Nothing from the township.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the Auto Lenders.
Into the microphone.
Oh, sorry. I move that the application of Auto Lenders Liquidation Center requesting dimensional variances from the following sections of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to permit 2 wall signs where only 1 sign is permitted per tenant per street frontage pursuant to section 209-45.q, parentheses 5, parentheses A, and 1 freestanding sign where only 1 freestanding sign is permitted per street frontage pursuant to section 209-45.q, parentheses 10, parentheses A, at the property located at 218 Lincoln Highway, Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania, 19030, as depicted on the plans and in accordance with the testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
I'll second it.
Hey,
Before you,
Mr. Kiernan, hang on 1 second.
oh, he wants to,
Yeah, so that gets 2 to 3, that one was withdrawn.
and this was gonna be,
2 where only 1's permitted.
okay,
He just said, he said, like, I
I
like to amend my motion.
would like to amend my motion to correct that it would be 2 freestanding signs where only 1 freestanding sign is permitted per street frontage pursuant to section 209-14.q, parentheses 10, parentheses A.
Do we have a second?
I guess I'll second both motions.
Okay. Laney, pull the board, please.
Al?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Colcock, you'll receive correspondence.
Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Mission Barbecue's in via Zoom too? They are, okay. And next one is petition 5 Mission Barbecue, 630-636 Commerce Boulevard, Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania. Tax map partial 13-003-036-007. zone shopping center commercial district, requesting a dimensional variance for the following section 209-45Q, friend 5, to permit the installation of 3 wall signs for the front, side, and rear facades. Section 209-45Q5B, to permit the increased size of each sign to be 100 square feet, where a maximum area of 32 square feet is permitted. We have Mission Barbecue in,
Yes, sir.
okay? Adam, do we have anything you need to mark, Keith?
Short.
Yes, yes. Adam, do you have any, I need you sworn in, and anybody else that's gonna speak, sworn in, please?
It'll just be myself speaking this evening.
Okay. We're gonna have you sworn in, okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Could you please state and spell your full name?
My name is Adam Newble. Last name is spelled K-N-U-B as in boy, E-L. And I'm with Apple Signs representing Mission Barbecue.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, we'll mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal as ZHB1, along with the accompanying hardship letter. I'm sorry, it's actually titled description/letter of explanation of variance. 2 will be a permit denial letter from Falls Township dated February 11th, sent to the property owner, addressed to 630 Commerce Boulevard. 3 will be a signage plan submitted by the applicant. 4 is a letter to Adam Newble from Apple Signs dated March 29th from Falls Township, giving notice of tonight's meeting. 5 is Mr. Newble's signed Zoom authorization. 6 is 3 pages containing 3 colored photographs, one of which shows that the property was posted as required. 7, proof of publication, the Bucks County Courier Times, showing that this matter was published March 29th, and then again April 5th, 2022. There's all the board exhibits. We've been provided previously a letter and email from Mr. Newble. I have one moment. Mr. Newell, I know you've been placed on the oath. This letter was sent to Valox, Inc., care of Center at Oxford Valley Condo Association, giving notice of tonight's meeting. Is that accurate?
That is correct, sir.
Okay, so the only property that was notified was this Valox Corporation?
Yes, sir. It was the only adjoining property to the subject parcel.
Okay, and how did you determine that was the only adjoining or abutting property?
The Bucks County GIS website.
Okay. Mr. Takeda, you don't have anything other than what's been relayed by Mr. Newell? Okay. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I'm satisfied the appropriate notice have been satisfied, and this matter can proceed.
Okay, Adam, what do you got going on?
Well, I'm here tonight representing Mission Barbecue. They're looking to open a new establishment at this location. One of the areas of concern with the signage is site visibility and being able to direct customers to the site. The requested relief is to ensure and increase the visibility along Oxford Valley Road, Commerce Boulevard, and from within the overall court at Oxford Valley Commercial Development there. A number of the existing signage in that development already well exceeds the 32 square feet limited by the code, and there are several establishments that have multiple signs up to 1 per facade for a total of 4.
Okay.
I would welcome any questions about the business or the proposal from the board or the public.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any board comment right now? Nothing?
No.
Bill, anything?
I have none.
No, I have, we've approved stuff like this before with AAA across the street. We've increased their signs also. I see it warranted. Is there anything in from the public, any public comment, anybody in via Zoom?
No one on Zoom.
And Matt, any correspondence on this matter?
No.
And Adam, do you have anything else you need to add?
No, sir.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the application of Mission BBQ requesting dimensional variance from section 209-14.Q, parentheses 5, parentheses A, and section 209-45.Q, parentheses 5, parentheses B, of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to permit the installation of 3-wall signs for the front side and rear facades, and to permit the increased size of each sign to be 100 square feet, each where a maximum area of 32 square feet is otherwise permitted, at the property located at 630-636 Commercial Boulevard, Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania, 19030, as depicted on the plans and in accordance with the testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
There's one thing, Laney, you misread, I believe, the first part, Mission Barbecue, section 209-45 it is,
Oh.
not 14. So if you could just correct
Sorry, I'm
that.
dyslexic tonight.
That's
Okay.
just amend that, read that, and we're.
All right, I'm going to amend my motion again.
It's okay.
To say that I move that the application of Mission Barbecue requesting dimensional variance from section 209-45.Q, parentheses 5, parentheses A.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
You have a second.
Call the board?
Al?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Nibble, you'll receive.
Thank you very much.
You'll receive correspondence.
Thank you.
Last line of business. We have petition 6, Empire Motor Auto Sales, 78 East Cabot Boulevard, Suite 300, Langhorne, Pennsylvania, 19047, tax map partial 13-003-008-008, Zone Planned Industrial Park, requesting a use variance to permit the operation of a used vehicle dealership at the property, section 209-28. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dean Bogan. I'm here on behalf of Empire Motors. With me, I brought Alex Pivenstein, who's the owner of Empire Motors. If I could get him sworn in.
Thank you.
Swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Would you please state your full name and spell it?
Alex Pivenstein, A-L-E-X-P-I-V-E-N-S-H-T-E-Y.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if we can mark some exhibits, we'll mark the application for zoning ordinance appeal along with accompanying letter from Mr. Bogan. We'll mark all of them collectively as ZHB 1. 2 is a plan of the proposed building or structures. 3 is a letter. 3 is a letter of intent submitted by the applicant. 4 is notification to Mr. Bogan giving notice of tonight's meeting. That letter is dated March 29th, 2022, sent from Falls Township. 5 is 4 pages containing 4 color photographs, one of which shows that the property was posted as required. 6 is proof of publication in the Bucks County Courier Times, showing this matter was published March 29th and then again April 5th, 2022. That is all the board exhibits. I've been handed by Mr. Bogan. What I'm going to mark is A1 if you don't have any other previously marked exhibits. The top sheet states affidavit of mailing. And Mr. Bogan, can you advise that the sample letter that's contained in this packet that I've marked as A1 was sent to the property owners listed in Exhibit B?
It was, but I had the applicant, the owner of the applicant, mail them out, so you can, if you'd like to ask him, you can verify as well.
Sure, if he's been placed under oath, sir, if you can just verify that all the addresses received this sample letter?
Yes.
Great. Mr. Chairman, I'm satisfied. The appropriate notice have been satisfied. This matter can proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I think our matter tonight is fairly straightforward. We're here seeking a use variance to permit a used car dealership at the property. The property is zoned Planned Industrial Park. If you take a look at the zoning code, it points to a bunch of what I would call similar uses and a statement there that says any uses of the same general character are permitted in that area. Some of the uses listed therein are things such as distribution and warehousing, a business professional or government office, motor vehicle repair garage, outside storage or display. So basically what we're proposing is a used car dealership, which in our opinion is a combination thereof. If you know the property, and we actually drove there today, took a look around, everything is industrial in nature. There wouldn't be any kind of disturbance by having this type of use at that property. All the neighbors are similar in nature in terms of warehousing or some type of auto company there. So basically everything, we believe, sorry about that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. The applicants or the owner is here with me in case there are any questions, but that's basically our petition.
Okay. Any board comment? Laney?
How are they gonna know that you're there?
So the business is mostly online. The only time that people come out is once they've seen a car. If they want to come and see it in person, they would then get the address to come and view the vehicle. But sales and all the interactions are pretty much being done online.
Yes. Okay. Bill, do you have any questions?
I just had, so what is actually the hardship of use of the property?
Sure. So the hardship here is that the code permits many similar uses. It just doesn't delineate exactly an auto dealership at this property. Also, the property is already perfectly outfitted for auto dealerships and then has had Enterprise on the property previously. There'd be no alterations on the property whatsoever. It's already in perfect shape for this use. Actually, other uses may require alteration or any kind of change to the property. So.
Okay.
That's it.
Can we have the applicant stand up and explain exactly what's he plan on doing? I know he's selling used cars, but can you give us a little outline of business?
Okay. We have been in business since 2009, and basically it was 90% of the sales were online sales. We advertise in 4 different websites, including our own website, where people, basically what you do today is, so that you start looking for a car, you go online and you look for a car. If the vehicle that you're looking for fits in the category that you're looking for, our business will pop up. At that point, people will either email or call and make arrangements, make deals. And right now, it's about 50-50 where the people are coming in, or we're shipping the vehicles out using carriers all over the country.
Okay.
And been doing exactly the same thing since 2009, actually, April 1st of 2009.
And where were you doing the business prior?
In Philadelphia,
Okay.
on Frankfurt Avenue.
And how often would a carrier come in and deliver cars? I mean, how's it work?
It's hard to say. Sometimes we buy cars at the auction and they will drop one in, and and again, it's hard to say when the vehicles are sold. It can be, 2, 3 a month. It could be 5 a month. It could be less.
I can't tell on the plan here. Is there overhead doors, a garage
No.
where you can work on the cars?
No.
Or you're not working on cars?
We're not working on the cars. It's strictly in office and all the work. Right now, we actually own a 13,000 square foot building where everything is done on premises. But that building is being sold and all the work is going to be sub out.
Okay.
So there's not going to be nothing at all.
So really, this is just gonna be almost like a transfer lot where the cars are gonna come in, people are gonna look at them on the lot and buy them off the lot, or?
It's going to be the final destination after the vehicles go through the shop and ready to be sold. We will bring it back to the lot, take pictures, post it online, and it will stay there until it's sold.
Okay. Any other questions, Laney?
No, you asked them about, were you gonna be doing repairs there? But you said no, so that's something that I'm concerned about also.
Right.
But
Yeah. Bill?
How many employees will you have there?
3, including me.
All right, no, I have no other questions.
And we have sufficient parking. I just can't see what the.
Yes.
What the diagram isn't very good, so I'm sure there's parking and everything there.
We have actually been approved by the state already.
Okay,
So we have an approval from where everything that needed to be done from the state that's already done has been approved.
okay. Thank you. Any public comment? Nobody's here. And do we have anybody via Zoom?
No one on Zoom.
Okay, and any correspondence, Matt, from the township? Any other questions by the board? Bill, Laney?
I have none.
Okay, we'd like to, one of you guys make a motion?
I'm sorry, Laney, I don't have them from me. I'll make up next meeting.
that's okay. That's all right. I move that the application of Empire Motor Auto Sales requesting a use variance from section 209-28.b of the Falls Township zoning ordinance be granted to permit the operation of a used vehicle dealership at the property located at 78 East Cabot Boulevard, Suite 300, Langhorne, Pennsylvania, 19047, as depicted on the plans and in accordance with the testimony presented to the zoning hearing board.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, poll the board?
Al?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
You'll receive correspondence.
Okay, I have a motion to close the meeting.
I so move.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.